All right, we are live. Yes, yes. Coming live from YouTube, coming live from Facebook. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. Wherever you are and whenever you're listening to this show, we appreciate you for tuning in. This is a special Savery Show Super Bowl live episode for y'all. As we're recording this live, it is Saturday, the day before the Super Bowl. We're hyped, man. We're excited. It's gonna be a great show. We're gonna have some guests come on with us this afternoon. We're gonna turn up. We're gonna talk about the game and some other intricate details. But bro, I just wanted to start, man. Just checking on you. How you doing, bro? You excited for the ball?
Yeah, I'm excited. And the city of Cincy excited too. So shout out to my city. I know the Bengals win
Absolutely.
tomorrow. They're gonna probably burn down the city, so I wouldn't be surprised.
Hey man,
So
I thought about it and I'm like, man, I wish I could have been still in Cincinnati to
yeah,
experience if they pull this off. How it would be in the city, bro?
yeah, it's
Crazy.
crazy. My LB, he's actually in LA right now. So yeah,
Oh man,
I don't know if
oh
he's
man.
I don't know if he's going to the game or not, but I know he's going there just to have a good time. So a lot of people from
Oh,
Cincinnati.
absolutely,
So
bro. Look, when the Super Bowl was here in Atlanta and it was pre-COVID, that's when we were first out here, bro. Like I
mhm.
told you about it, you saw, but like the experience, just even not even if you go into the game, but just being in that atmosphere, bro. The celebrities, athletes you get to see. You obviously know I got to see my homeboy and all that, and a bunch of other people, but it was great. Lamar Jackson, Cameron Jordan, just naming some people's name, whether it's celebrity, all-star basketball games, they got parties, they got these events, talking events, things like that. So I was able to kind of finesse my way into an event. I try to go to
Yeah,
first take. I was waiting there for hours, bro. Line all the way back down the street. Then by the time they closed it, I got like right to the door, right as they close it. And I remember I showed you, I got a little first take towel. I was like, man, I want this towel, man. I want to be in there. But yeah,
yeah,
Super
yeah.
Bowl, man, it's crazy, bro. LA, bro, there's gonna be like every celebrity A-list celebrity you could think of is gonna be in that game tomorrow. Um,
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's gonna be packed. All the celebrities gonna be there.
oh yeah, no, it's gonna be crazy, but yeah, y'all. So man, the big game, man, Super Bowl 56. We are live at it. Matter of fact, bro, let me get some real quick. Okay, let me make sure I get this out there for everybody. Um, man, it's gonna be a crazy matchup. There's so many ways to break it down, too, bro. So many ways to break it down, but we're gonna get that goodness to y'all in just 1 second. All right, let me make sure I get this on there. But yeah, man, Super Bowl 56. So, bro, would you like to start breaking it down? You want me to start breaking it down? I'll let you choose, bro.
You go right ahead, bro.
All right. So y'all know Super Bowl 56, man. We have the Cincinnati Bengals, the underdog against the Los Angeles Rams, playing for the second consecutive home Super Bowl. We saw Tampa with Brady do it last year and pull it off, and now this year we get the Rams hosting it in LA. It's interesting, bro. I'm gonna start by saying last week 2 weeks ago in the conference championship games, they actually both teams were down by a substantial amount. The Bengals were down by a lot. I think it was 21-3 at half. I know the
21,
Rams going
21-10,
yeah,
I think.
sorry, 21-10. And the Rams were down by 10 going into the fourth quarter. Okay. Bengals had the miraculous comeback led by Joe Burrow, Joe Burr, Joey Franchise, Joe Cool, whatever you want to call him. You got like 10 cool nicknames. Led the comeback against the Chiefs. Matt Stafford and the Rams led that comeback against the 49ers. So both teams have dealt with adversity in this playoffs. They've both been behind in games. They both made really great to miraculous level of comebacks. So it's going to be very interesting to see. Um, I want to start with a matchup, bro, that's pretty obvious. But when we look at this game, we look at Joe Burr, Joe Burrow, Joe Cool. He doesn't have the best offensive line in the game. A lot of you guys probably already know that and understand that. He got sacked over 50 times this year just in the regular season alone. And with that, do I hear something? Oh, my bad. I didn't. Okay. With that being said, Just a little technical difficulty, I think. But with that, man, like the Rams front, we know they have Aaron Donald. We know they got Von Miller, Leonard Floyd coming. So the biggest matchup I think that everybody's talking about is how is Joe Burrow going to be able to handle the pressure from the LA Rams, that defensive front, all the superstars they got on that team, bro. They made all those trades, all those first round picks given out for the Jayla Ramseys, to get Von Miller this year, to get Matt Stafford to come in. They traded to get Odell Beckham. So just if you look at the talented roster alone, you put them both up to each other. The Rams, by far, are on paper are the better team. But we know, bro, that the better team on paper doesn't always win, right? This is not the NBA. It's not the best of 7. It's one game. That's it. That's all you get. And with that being said, bro, I'm going to be very interested on that matchup on the D line versus the O line. Are the Bengals going to be able to have a plan to stop the pass rush, or will it be like when they played Tennessee a few weeks back and they ended up getting sacked 9 times? Now, they obviously won the game, but I don't care if you're Brady, you're Burrow, you're Stafford, Mahomes, Rodgers, the list goes on and on. If you get sacked 9 times in a game, you're not going to do well to win. Now, the Titans in that game turned the ball over a lot. I don't see the Rams turn the ball over that much, but if the Bengals could stop the onslaught of that pass rush, give Joe Burrow time to throw the ball down the field, he has the weapons. We've seen him get to Jamar Chase, get to T. Higgins. I think the tight end, he might play. I heard he messed up his knee, bro, in the championship game. Yeah. He said he's going to try to give it a go. He's not going to be 100%, but maybe he could be a decoy in a sense. They got Joe Mixon to run the ball, okay, Pro Bowler, over 1,000 yards rushing again. He's a very dynamic player. Can they balance running the ball to stop Aaron Donald, Von Miller, Leonard Floyd coming off the edge and up the middle? I think too, bro, like the greatness of Aaron Donald, knowing he demands double and triple teams at times. I think he will be lined up not just in the middle. They're going to rotate him. They're going to try to find the weakest link on the Cincinnati Bengals offensive line, and they're going to try to expose that. So if Donald might start in the middle of D tackle, he might go on the edge rushing. We don't know. But with that being said, bro, I really do think that the biggest matchup to me when it comes to the Super Bowl, man, is just the quarterback play overall. So I know Matt Stafford is not going against Joe Burrow. They play the defenses, but to me, when you look at Matt Stafford and Joe Burrow, I looked at the top 100 list of players, bro. I seen Aaron Donald was 1 and Burrow was 2. They didn't put Stafford ahead of Burrow for this season. And I can see why they did that. So the crazy thing to me, bro, is similar to last Super Bowl in the sense that the Buccaneers roster was a lot better than the Chiefs, but Mahomes was like the best player, top 2 player. Now with this one, it's like Joe Burrow and then like all the Rams. You obviously got Jamar Chase, but so I want to know from you, bro, from your Bengals, man, what can their defense potentially do to get after Matt Stafford or try to contain that passing attack, bro? Because I'll be honest with you, I only know Jesse Bates, bro. I heard of the Hendrickson a little bit. He's a Pro Bowler, but I don't even know a lot of these guys on their defense.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a similar approach to what they took with Patrick Mahomes, to be honest with you. And as far as trying to be on the attack to get to the quarterback. And I think that's what they're pretty much going to use. I just hope that doesn't hurt them because obviously, you have Cooper, Kupp, and then you have Odell Beckham on the outside. So I just hope that, they don't get burned constantly trying to attack Stafford. Because I feel like eventually Stafford's going to try to figure out a way to get Cooper Kupp and Odell Beckham the ball. And Odell Beckham's been balling as of late, since he's came to the Rams. So that's going to be interesting to see. So I'm interested to see how the corners, just the secondary overall, will be able to handle those receivers because it's going to be a very tough job. You already mentioned, as far as the Bengals offensive line, to me, that's going to be the tail of the tape, in my opinion. That's going to be the game right there. If they can obviously, try to, they're going to be able to contain the pass rush. I mean, that's Aaron Donald and Leonard Floyd and Von Miller coming at you. So that's going to be hard to do. But they got to contain them some kind of way so they can't get to Burrow. If they get to Burrow, it's going to be a long day in Los Angeles. That's all I can say. But if they can contain him and give him time, he's going to be able to find his weapons. Because in my opinion, I know that Jayla Ramsey is a beast, but I feel like you can somewhat be able to, attack the secondary of the Rams outside of him, in my opinion. So if you can protect Burrow and attack the secondary, because he has weapons in Boyd, Higgins and Chase, so he can be fine there, and also Joe Mixon as well. So that's going to be the key of the game to me. I think it's going to be a very high scoring game in my opinion. I think it's going to be kind of sluggish at first. I think it's going to be probably like the first quarter. It's going to be kind of slow. But I think things are going to start picking up probably in the second quarter. And I think as the game progresses, it's going to be high scoring. And then we just see a great game going forward. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. That's not something I want to see because we've seen that last year when your boy Mahomes got beat up constantly the whole game. It was abuse out there. It was bad. I don't want to see that again. I don't want that for Burrow. So, but I'll be honest with you. I don't think you gave your pick, but my pick.
Not yet. I want you. You know what? I want you to start it too. I want you to start it. I want you to start with your pick first, and I'll give you mine. I want you to start. I know where you're going, but I want to hear it.
Yeah, I don't think it's a secret who I'm going to pick to win. Obviously, I'm not a Bengals fan, but I support my city, as everybody knows. I'm from the Nasty Natty. But I'm gonna go with the Bengals in an upset, 31-28. That's what I'm gonna go with.
I like that. I like the score, bro.
Yeah, and the reason I feel that way because I think that Joe Burrow and the Bengals overall are playing with house money, and also another thing is too, and I think nobody's not really talking about it. Zach Taylor, being a quarterback, was he quarterback coach for the Rams?
Yes.
Was a quarterback coach? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I think that also kind of helps him in a sense because he knows the Rams, offense and what they're gonna do in a sense, and he knows Sean McVay very well, and that might be able to help the Bengals in a sense to be able to what to prepare for. So I think that's going to be something that could be a benefit for the Bengals, and I just think overall, I just think this is the Bengals like moment. I just feel like they're the hottest team right now. I know the Rams are, playing great and things like that, but I just feel like it's something about this Bengals team that's probably just a team of destiny this year. And, it would be amazing to see, them pull this off. And I firmly believe that they will. I think Joe Burrow's I don't think he's going to have a fantastic game, but I think he's going to do what he needs to do to help them win. I know he's not going to be, I don't think the pressure is going to really get to him in a sense because he's already dealt with pressure enough. So I'm going Bengals 31-28. I'll give my MVP picks later who I think could possibly win. But yeah, I'm going with the Bengals 31-28.
I respect it, bro. And I like that you said like a higher score. I don't think it's going to be a 17-14, a 20-20, 23-20. Now I got to tell you, and as I'm saying that, let me bring on our friend of the show, our boy Perry. What's up, Perry? I'm going to get to you in a second, bro. I'm going to get to you in a second. So with that being said, I love what Sterling said, everything he brought up. I can't argue against it. I really can't. In my opinion, I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. So in my heart, I want the Bengals to win this thing, man. I want to see the city of Cincinnati, like Sterling said, born and raised there, as Sterling was. I want to see the city celebrate. See my boy Mark out there partying in the street. Shout out to Mark, you watching. I want to see y'all celebrate and turn up in Cincinnati. But I must say, my mind up here is telling me that with all the greatness of Joe Burrow that we've seen throughout this playoff run, I got to go with the Los Angeles Rams, man. I got to go with the Rams. I have to go with the Rams for a few reasons. Listen, fellas, I think that when it comes to that pass rush, they don't have to get Burrow 9 times, but just to disrupt him enough to force a mistake or two, to get a strip, sack, fumble. That's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at it to be maybe a Von Miller or Leonard Floyd. Maybe Aaron Donald gets in his face just to get him off his spot. We know Burrow is great at speed reading down the field, getting to a spot, right? We understand that. At the same time, we also know that Burrow likes to hang on to the ball. Like I said, he got sacked over 50 plus times. You can get after him. The Bengals offensive line, unless they take some of the that special drink that they took in Space Jam. What was it called? Like the Michael special stuff. They gonna have to get a little bit of that to be able to try to stop the dominance of that defensive line. Now, another player we didn't mention just yet, Jayla Ramsey, right? Probably regarded as a top corner in all football. You're gonna have him pretty much on an island with Jamar Chase. That's what we want to see as football fans. We want to see how is Jayla Ramsey going to hold up against Jamar Chase and vice versa. Now, I think Jamar's going to do okay. I'm not going to say he's going to burn him, but he is going to get his. I believe that. I wholeheartedly believe that Jamar Chase, for them to win, he's got to go for about $120, $130, like nine receptions, whether he scores or not. Just being able to get those key first downs down the field. Maybe he'll break away on a long touchdown run. I know my boy Perry's seen that a few times against his Ravens this year. Jamar Chase just got loose out for the end zone for the touchdown.
Relax.
Hey, man, with that being said, I got to go with the Rams. Sterling said he picked the Bengals 31-28. I'm going to go with the Rams. And now the spread, if I'm not mistaken, is I think is -4.5, right? The Rams obviously being at home for the Super Bowl, which is rare. They're favored by 4.5. I actually think the Bengals will cover. So my score that I got, fellas, man, I'm going to go with the Rams by the score of actually 28-24. So that's my pick. Rams 28-24. Sterling has the Bengals going 31-28. So Perry, I'm gonna kick it to you. And as I do that, we got another special guest, Perry. So let me just add him to the stream. What's going on, everybody? 336 Pull Up Podcast. If you guys have not followed us for a little while, we've connected with them a couple times. So this is about I think the third time we went on their show. They came on our show. Now we got them on our show again for the Super Bowl. So if you guys do not know this brother on right now, he goes by the name of Frank Stylez, co-host of the 336 Pull Up Podcast. If you guys have not listened to the 336 Pull Up Podcast, highly recommend it. They've been back doing their thing in 2022. Frank, I love what y'all been doing so far this year. Love the episodes. Y'all got me dying laughing. I get great information. Y'all talking about the sports, the pop culture, all the goodness in the Black community. I love it. So without further ado, I want to introduce you to the Savery Show. Again,
Right.
Welcome back.
What's going on, fellas? How y'all doing, man?
Good. How you doing, man?
Doing well. How
doing
are you?
Great, man. Great. Yo, I don't know if I can top that introduction. You better than Steve Harvey, bro.
Hey, man, I had to hype it up, man. Nah, but y'all been doing your thing, man. We salute you, respect what y'all got going on. So we had to bring y'all back, man. We just had to find the right time. So we had to bring y'all back.
Absolutely, man. So, yo, listen, I think I'm gonna go because I heard you guys picking, what the prediction is gonna be for tomorrow, right? Can I go ahead and do the same thing?
Yeah. Let me kick it to Perry first, and then Frank, you're gonna take it right after him.
Yeah.
All
right.
Y'all already know I messed with that boy Joe Burrow, Mr. Joe Burr, Mr. Joe Shiesty. I love Aaron Donald. He can do his thing. He gets the pass rusher, Von Miller. He's already going to Super Bowl MVP. Jayla Ramsey and them boys want to get it done. Odell's had a year. Everybody has a story. But no more parties in LA. It's over. It is over for all the partying in LA. It's done. That boy Joe Burrow is going to go in there and handle business. Jamar Chase is handling business. Everything is getting done. It's all over with. No more parties in LA, just like that boy Kanye said. It is done. It is over with. All they have to do somehow, some way is run the ball. Give that boy Joe Mixon the ball. Don't get Stafford on the field. You win in the game. It's a tall task to do with Aaron Donald, but somehow, some way, I think they can get it done. They have the worst passing line. Running the ball, they're not too bad. So if they can run the ball, get Joe Mixon out there on the flat somewhere, give him a little screen, do whatever, make all of them run all over the place, they'll be fine. As long as you don't let Aaron Donald disrupt the game, which I think Joe Burrow can do at this point in time, they're winning the game. No more parties in LA. My score, My prediction is going to be, make sure I got these points right up in my head, 28-31. My boy McPherson, a.k.a. McDouble, with a game-winning field goal because that boy is ice cold.
So you going 31-28 just like Sterling did with the Bengals.
Yep, 31-28. 31-28. Okay. McPherson.
I got 28-24 Rams. I got 28-24 Rams, but I like the no more parties in LA. I love that. But okay, so we got 2 for the Bengals. I'm with the Rams. Frank, who you got with this one, man?
Man, it's tough, right? Because watching Joe Burrow last year, to see where he was at last year and then to see where he is now is just truly amazing. When I watched him last year, I was like, yo, this kid is for real. He's not like a lot of those kids drafted in the first round as a quarterback. And, because of the hype in college, he gets to the league and you can just see he's not ready, or they don't belong in the league. He's for real. To see what he did against Kansas City, I mean, it's going to be tough. But see, here's the other piece that's making me lean towards the Rams. They are in LA. There's going to be a bunch of Ram fans there. They've already been there one time and they didn't win. So I'm going to say it's going to be a very, very close game. And as much as I like Joe Burrow, I'm going to go ahead and say Rams 28. And I'm going to go ahead and say Cincinnati 24. So 28-24.
Hey, I'm rocking with it, Frank. Now, Sterling, I did say my heart wants the Bengals to win. I really want them to win. My brain, my mind is just saying, bro, like everything that they're up against. I think the Rams just slightly though. I'm not like we all think it's gonna be a close game down to the wire. We all believe that. So I don't think we have any like debate there. But at home, the home Super Bowl, man, like with all the superstars and key veterans that they got. Now, I will say for the Bengals' sake, though, they're like a year or two ahead of schedule. And I think we kind of mentioned that before.
Yeah, they are.
So they could take this experience, even if they lose with Joe Burrow next year, they might even be able to attract free agents next season thinking like, wow, we see how Joe Burrow is. I know, Sterling, being in Cincinnati, how the Bengals really were never big players in the free agent market. I think now, bro, just by getting to the Super Bowl, if they win or lose, I think knowing how Joe Burrow is, they're gonna be able to sign a few players, bro, in the upcoming offseason.
Mike Brown's not cheap. If Mike Brown's not cheap, hopefully that happens.
No, it's not. It's not gonna be cheap. Y'all about to get a whole. I'm telling you, bro. Y'all about to get a whole offensive line, like a legit line.
No, I agree. I'm just saying. I just hope
draft
he's not
too. Through the draft too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just
hoping y'all about to get them boys.
Yeah. So all right. So we got 2-2. Rams and Bengals are split. We know the Rams are favored at home. I would not feel bad at all if the Bengals win. I'm not gonna lie. I just think the Rams are gonna get them. That's just my prediction, y'all. So we're gonna move on to y'all got the scores down. We're gonna write these down so we come back and get at each other later. I want to go to the MVP predictions, y'all. So I was looking it up. Just looking at the betting odds right now. Matt Stafford at plus 135 is in first for the Super Bowl MVP. Then you got Joe Burrow in order from top down is Stafford, Burrow, Cooper Kupp, Aaron Donald, then Jamar Chase, and then Odell Beckham Jr. Now, one thing I'm going to say, y'all, is that I saw a line here that said there's never been a rookie ever to win a Super Bowl MVP, ever. But with that being said, we know that most of the time the quarterback normally wins the Super Bowl MVP unless going back to Super Bowl 50 when Von Miller terrorized Cam Newton and the Panthers and he won the Super Bowl MVP. I want to just go around here, y'all, and get your opinion on who do you believe will get the MVP? Is it going to be one of these common people that I just named? Is there a sleeper? How do y'all feel about that?
It's a sleeper in there.
Okay, I'm gonna let you go first, Sterling. Go first with it.
So for me, I would throw T. Higgins up in there. I would.
Sterling.
Yeah, okay. I would.
That's my guy too.
Yeah, I love T. Higgins. That's who it would be for me as a sleeper. I'm trying. You say where was Odell ranked?
Odell was ranked 6 behind Stafford, Burrow, Cooper Kupp, Donald, and after Jamar Chase. He's 6.
Oh, he might be he might need to be a little bit higher.
T Higgins was 10th, by the way. He was 10th.
Oh God.
Yeah. He's behind Von Miller, Joe Mixon, and Cam
$1
Akers.
on that and see what happens. I'm gonna put $1 on that and see what happens. If it's like plus 10,000, I'll do it.
I think for me, T Higgins is sleeper, and I think Odell needs to be higher. That's how I kind of feel. I don't think Cooper Kupp will get it, to be honest with you.
Do you think it'll go to a offensive player or defensive, in your opinion, y'all? If you had to pick, we all kind of gave our score, so we think it's going to be kind of high scoring. In my opinion, I believe it's going to go to a quarterback. Personally, even if the receivers have a great game, a lot of times, bro, they love giving the quarterback the MVP in the Super Bowl. I mean, I picked the Rams to win, so honestly, being the score that I did pick of 28-24, I got to give it to Stafford, honestly. Even if the defense – now, the only way I would say a player like Aaron Donald, Leonard Floyd, Von Miller gets it, they got to get at least 2 sacks. One's got to be like a strip sack, or somebody's got to take it to the house on defense. In my opinion, to get Super Bowl MVP, kind of like that Von Miller performance before, that's the only way I see a defensive player getting it, in my opinion.
I think it's Odell getting his next shot. I truly believe that he's going to show up, right? So he's gotten the knock, obviously the one time, that he was with New York with the Giants, he went when they went to the playoffs, dropping balls, so he's, pretty much booted out of New York. He goes to Cleveland, doesn't really do anything, doesn't, gets hurt. And so now this is like, he's got his breath again. So, going to LA, looking at Stafford, I think he's going to show up, man, because Cooper Kupp is the guy that I'll be trying to shut down. Let's just be honest. We need to make sure that this guy doesn't catch, the deep balls like he was in the playoffs. And then you throw Odell over in the slot, let him do that little hitch route and go. I think that he can definitely potentially be that MVP. Obviously, quarterbacks, you always look at the quarterback because he's throwing the ball, right? I mean, this could go either way. I mean, there's so many fairy tale endings that you could have with this. I love this. I wouldn't mind seeing Stafford get it because of all them years that he was in Detroit, and they didn't really put anybody around him, So I don't know, man, but I'd like to see Odell. I'd like to see Odell get it, let him bounce back. It's his time.
Off that, a quick aside, y'all. Y'all know Odell's about to be a free agent too, right? So he's getting to the bag in the offseason for what he did with the Rams. He's getting that bag. Whether he stays or he leaves, he's going to get that one more fat contract, I'm telling y'all.
He said he wants to stay.
But he wants to be in LA. He had a crib in LA. Yeah, even when he was in New York, he had a crib in LA. So he wants to be in LA. The thing is, to see where, we're used to the big play Odell, the sideshow before the pregame warm-up or whatever and all that stuff he does to entertain the crowd. But the thing about it is, think about when he came to that team. He had to learn the offense, had to get a feel for Stafford, right? And, it seems like every game that he plays in, it's getting better and better and better. And eventually what's going to happen is he's going to have a big play. And so he gets that big play, he gets going. What are you going to do to stop him? You going to double Odell? You going to leave Cooper? You going to leave Cooper open? I mean, so.
Oh, they're not going to do that. They're not going to do that.
It'll be interesting.
Very. That's my thing, man. So Perry, we're going to round it out with you, man, for the MVP predictions. Who you got?
All right. So I have two, like Sterling. What Sterling said, I have a sleeper in T Higgins. He's getting guarded by the most trash cornerback in the league. On the Chargers. So I mean that's one. So I have him. If anything, Joe Burrow will get it, and I think Joe Burrow will round out to be probably the only quarterback to win he may do it. I mean, he may be the first. I think they said nobody has ever won a national championship, a Heisman, a Super Bowl, and a Super Bowl MVP. Nobody's ever done it. If he does it, he doesn't top Joe Montana, but he's like definitely over. He's definitely over. What's the Jets quarterback name? I can't think about my guy right now.
Namath?
Yeah, Joe Namath. He tops my boy Joe. He tops my boy Joe as being the second coolest Joe of all time. He tops him. Like, he got it. If LA was to somehow win and there actually was a party in LA, They're gonna give it to Stafford, but it should probably go to Odell because Eli Apple's trash. No offense. If he's getting guarded by Eli Apple, it's over.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I hate Eli Apple, especially as a Ravens fan. I despise him.
I despise him too as a Giants fan.
I never liked him too. Yeah, when as an Eagles fan, I didn't think he was anything with the Giants.
Yeah, he wasn't. I don't even know why we picked him. You know what I'm saying? And then you started talking trash. He's been gone for years.
He talk a lot of trash, man. He talk a lot of trash.
And I think he's an Ohio State guy, and I liked him, but I was just like, yo, you suck so bad. Like, but going off what you guys are saying, like, I feel like those two would probably be the MVP unless there's a big defensive game, because they don't. I was looking up stats, like. They for a defensive player, you really don't got to do so much to take over a game to win MVP. Ray Lewis won Super Bowl MVP in 2001. He had like 5 tackles, 3 assisted, and a bunch of pass breakups and everything. And Von Miller, I think he had the straps, the sack fumble, and I believe he had what's the one other thing I was seeing? I think he just had a sack. What's the strip sack? He had the strip sack, and I think
he might have got Cam a couple times, but the one strip sack that led to the touchdown, like in the beginning of the game.
Yeah, he got that. Then I think he had one more other assisted like sack during that game, and then one MVP. So, I mean, if we get
honestly though, Perry, that's because the quarterback play was so bad in that game from Peyton and from Cam. So they kind of had no one. Like, they had to find somebody else to get the award that year.
True. But that's my two. I think T. Higgins sleeper, and Odell because Eli Apple's trash.
Okay. So with that, and Sterling kind of said T. Higgins. I'll take like just a couple minutes on this. Are there any other X factors you see in this game? Maybe somebody we have not mentioned at this point yet. We talked about Odell. T. Higgins to me kind of fits in that X factor role, Sterling, that you said. I'm going to go with the Rams. I think an X factor for them is the running back, actually, Cam Akers. He came back off of ACL just really for this playoff run. And I believe that we keep talking about the receivers. What's his name? Obviously, Stafford, Tyler Higbee. I believe, honestly, like when it comes down to it, maybe the Bengals might try to get after Stafford too. But if you have the run game in Cam Akers, you might be able to find some more of a balanced attack for success. Especially too, like if the Bengals, let's just say, for example, if the Bengals get up to like a quick lead, instead of panicking, I think you should run the ball. Now, you might think that I'm crazy saying that, but one thing I noticed 2 weeks ago in the championship game, the Kansas City Chiefs, when they had Jerick McKinnon and Clyde Edwards-Helaire, they both averaged over 5 yards a carry. I think Jerick McKinnon had 6 yards a carry, and Clyde Edwards-Helaire was 5.4. But we know the Chiefs don't like to run the ball, right? So they were getting like 6-7 yards a pop, but they didn't stay consistent with it, especially in the second half when the Chiefs start to unravel. I believe if either one of these teams can stick to their running game and don't give up, they'll be able to find success. The Bengals' run defense is not that good. If the Kansas City Chiefs can run it on you and they're not a running team, you just got to stay consistent with it. And also, Joe Mixon, he's actually a solid back. He's a Pro Bowler this year. If he could offset that pass rush from the Rams, and they might not be able to blitz everybody and just use Donald and everybody to just get right to Burrow, I think Joe Mixon will be another X factor as well. We could look at Joe Mixon having upwards to maybe 90 or 100 yards rushing the ball, and maybe like 25, 30 on maybe some screen passes or some swing routes outside in the backfield. So to me, the running backs, Cam Akers and Joe Mixon, going to be the X factors for that game. I want to see if y'all have somebody maybe we didn't even name yet who may be an X factor on either side.
Those might be the two.
Yeah, those really might be.
Yeah,
I think you got them, dude.
The only problem I think with what you're saying is that I can't think of the name of the Bengals head coach, but he'll run the ball if he has the ball going. And Zach Taylor and Joe Burrow is fine with running the ball if the ball's getting going. Matthew Stafford and McVay are always on different pages though, because they could be running the ball very well, but McVay's like, no, I'm throwing this shit.
Yeah.
Like that's the only thing. But
McVay,
you know,
Perry, not to cut you off, but when they played the Buccaneers, when they had that big lead, that's when they tried to run the ball, and Akers fumbled twice. In that game too. So that's an interesting point. But I really think, because we think it's going to be very explosive, but I think more so for the Bengals' sake, knowing how that offensive line is, they have to come in trying to run the ball. They have to, because like Donald, Floyd, and Von Miller, they're going to feast on them. So if you balance it out, get the play action game involved, let Jamar Chase get down the field. Maybe he gets one over Jayla Ramsey. We've seen it in this postseason when Brady had that long touchdown to Mike Evans in the fourth. So you might be able to get Jalen once or twice, especially off that play action. So I think that'll be a big key.
He's terrible with the deep ball. I think they said a lot of stats of him getting beat is he gets beat on a deep ball at least almost once a game, whether they catch it or not. He gets beat.
Well, that's the thing, because he's pressing too. But if you give him enough time, if they have a quick first step, and Jamar Chase, he's quick, he's fast, one of the best in the game as a rookie. He might be able to get one, like you said, but Burrow needs time. Again, he needs time to get down the field to do that. So that's going to be interesting, fellas, how that's going to play out. But did anyone else have an X factor before I move on, though?
Hendricks. I think Hendrickson, on the Bengals. I forget on the Bengals. He's the linebacker. He's the outside. I can't remember right now. Hendrickson. I think he's a D lineman.
Yeah, I think okay.
Like a defensive end, maybe.
I can't think right now top of my head, but if I think he could be an X factor, just because of I think he is on the defensive line. I cannot think right now. Oh my god!
I think he is.
Yeah, he's an end. So I think if he somehow can beat one of those really good tackles that that's on each edge of like the Rams, I think he could be an X factor if he gets going.
Okay.
If he gets going and hit Stafford a couple of times, because Stafford really doesn't get hit unless he holds the ball too much. But if he can get past one of those guys somehow, some way, he could cause some havoc in that game and throw some things around.
Okay. I got one more comment on X Factor. You might find this funny or not, but I think another X Factor is the jerseys, right? And you're probably like, what the hell are you talking about? The jersey. I'm dead serious. Listen, over the last no, wait. I'm serious. Stay with me for a second.
Yeah, keep going. Over
the last 17 years, the team that wears the white jersey has won 14 out of the last 17 times. And I'm just saying, the Rams are the home team, right? And they said we're gonna wear our white jersey. Brady last year, we're the home team. We wearing our white jersey. Mahomes, when they won against the Niners, I believe they were wearing white. They had a home jersey. Or they were wearing red. Yeah, okay, my bad. And the last team besides Mahomes then was my Eagles. Obviously, we wore our green against the Patriots going back. But that, just for context, I want y'all to know that. That could be an X factor. I'm telling y'all, look, that white jersey, man. I'm telling you, the white jersey gonna do it.
No, tomato. No, okay. Let me tell you right now. My boy. It is Black History Month. I am betting on everything black. In the UFC, in the Super Bowl, I'm betting on everything black, baby. So we rolling the dice. Rolling the dice, baby.
Always better than black.
Hey, bro, I can't argue that no more. I can't even argue that. I can't even argue that. That's funny, bro. Hey, hey, bro. Look, that's another reason to want to go for the Bengals, man. Because you're right, they're not wearing the orange too. They said, "No, we're gonna black this thing out."
Yeah, black it out. That's what I said. No more parties in LA, but I'm black. That's it. How it is.
Yeah, they like Kanye wearing all black, huh? They're gonna be out there. All right, yo. So let's transition one more time on this game before we go on to some other stuff. So the Super Bowl halftime show. All right. Now, as y'all know, if you don't know, for the listeners, this year's halftime, we got in LA, headlined by Dr. Dre. He's bringing out Eminem. He's bringing out Mary J. He's bringing out Kendrick, bringing out Snoop. I think the lineup alone, this might be potentially one of the all-time great Super Bowl halftime shows. And fellas, if I'm not mistaken, since Jay-Z he started to take over that role in the NFL, these Super Bowl halftime lineups have looked different from what they might have looked in the past, right? We've had like, the Who, the Rolling Stones, people like that. And now we've seen, the Beyonce, the Bruno Mars, Travis Scott when it was in Atlanta. We saw The Weeknd last year. Now we got obviously the West Coast gang with Dre, Snoop, Mary J, obviously Eminem's from Detroit, Kendrick as well. So I want to know from y'all fellas, man, like, one, what do you think about this lineup? And two, can you remember like maybe your all-time favorite halftime show?
Oh yeah. I can give you.
Yeah, so whoever want to take your
three.
Go ahead,
give you
Sterling.
top three.
Yeah.
Well, this one could be. It has the potential to be up there, just because of the lineup. I'm a big Mary J. Blige fan, so I love her. That's my girl. But with Snoop and Dr. Dre and Eminem, I'm not a fan of Kendrick, so I can care less about him.
We don't have to get it. I know you're gonna say that. You're gonna bring that up.
We can all get into it if you want to, but I don't care.
Yeah. I got you.
But I think for me, I don't think. Well, we'll see how this one goes, but I don't think anybody has topped Prince halftime performance in 2007. I don't think nobody's topped that one as of yet. I know Michael Jackson's in 93 was a very good one. And I think the one in 2016 with Beyonce and Bruno was very good too. That was a very memorable one too. So those are like my top three, in my opinion. But yeah, I think this one's going to be very electrifying though. And obviously like they got the West Coast connection with, some of the artists there. So it's going to be good. I'm looking forward to this one.
Yeah, likewise. So Frank, Perry, what do y'all think about this show, and then maybe your all-time favorite that you could think back on?
Oh man, you can never go wrong with that lineup for tomorrow night. You know what I'm saying? Like, of course, we gonna be up, singing along with the song, dancing, probably crip walking a little bit when Snoop comes out. But there's gonna be some people that are not. They're gonna be like, oh, why are we playing this? Because I remember, I'm not you're talking about Kendrick. Like, you're not a Kendrick fan. I'm not a Weeknd fan. And I remember last year going, I got to sit here for the next 30 to 45 minutes and listen to this fool. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yes.
so I think this is going to be real. It's going to definitely go down. I mean, the trailer alone, when they dropped the trailer for this coming up, I think a couple of weeks ago, everybody was losing their mind. So imagine tomorrow. Some people that are not even football fans are just going to tune in to see that piece of the show. You know what I'm saying? That and the commercials. I'd have to say, I'm going to say, the most memorable one is that Prince joint. Because think about it. Prince was on stage, you know what I'm saying? And he starts playing Purple Rain and it starts to rain. And it didn't even look like any rain touched him. So that's crazy, right? So,
he had that aura around him, man.
Everybody that says they meet him, there's like, when he walks, it's like he's gliding. You know what I mean? So I was watching it. Someone had put it out on some piece of social media, and as soon as he was jamming, and then when he went into Purple Rain, it started raining like on cue. And then as you're looking, I'm like, there's no rain touching this man right now. His hair's not even wet. So it's crazy, man. So that's the most memorable one I have.
Oh man,
What you got, bro?
You are right. No rain touched this man.
Perry, we can't hear you, bro. Can y'all hear Perry? I don't think I can.
No, I can't hear.
I think you might be muted, bro.
Still can't hear you.
Nah, man, I'm sorry. I can't hear you, bro. Are you wearing headphones, bro?
Yep, you can hear me now?
Yes.
There we go.
Yeah, my stuff got messed up. Look, I agree with everything being said. Purple Rain performance is the best performance of all time. My dad says Janet Jackson, but we all know why he said it. Anyway, Purple Rain is the best one. It was raining before, like drizzling a little bit. They go to Prince and say, Prince, it's raining. He says, oh, you make it rain more. Savage of a human being, okay? He was out there, did Purple Rain, drenched, like you said, aura around him. Nothing touched him. And then after he said, let's get, I think the name of the song right now. I think it was like, let's get crazy, let's get wild with the performers he has on his platform. They got on the platform. And they out there dancing. Floor is wet. Nobody falls.
Nobody, yeah.
Can't top it, man.
Can't top it.
Can't top it.
Best performance
Flawless.
ever.
I'm with y'all on that, but a funny story actually. I'm gonna go with not my all-time favorite, but maybe my most memorable. I was 10 years old at this point. I'm born in 93, right? I was 10 years old. This is why I started like actually try to like get into football. I remember my family, we had a Super Bowl party, there's a bunch of like neighbors, kids, around, whatever. And it was the Patriots and the Carolina Panthers, right? So two teams I really didn't care about, but I'm just watching the game, Super Bowl, and watching the halftime show. And of course, it's Janet Jackson, right? Justin Timberlake and all that. And like, as a 10-year-old boy, I see the malfunction live, and I'm like, what? Like, did I just see that? I'm 10 years old. So like, I'm just like, what? What? I'm like, wait, they were supposed to do that, bro? I'm like, I'm 10, so I'm like, your jaw just drops as a little kid, little 10-year-old boy.
I missed it. I just heard my dad yelling.
I saw it live, bro. I'm looking, I'm like, it was quick because I was like, I'm 10 years old, man. I couldn't help. I'm just saying, I'm looking, I'm just like, wait a minute, like, what? Cause I'm thinking I was seeing things because I'm like, oh, it's ain't gonna show, it's TV. I was like, bro, like, and obviously we heard, the about it way after the fact, and I think Janet Jackson had her like a documentary that aired a few weeks ago. I didn't get to watch all of it, honestly, but I think she mentioned something about like the Super Bowl and like not having people or fans still be mad at Justin Timberlake about that incident. But it just, when I heard about that, it reminded me of that time when I was 10. I'm just like, yeah. So I always remember that halftime show. But like y'all said, Prince, man, you can't really top it. Obviously, Michael, I saw on the mic, Michael on the YouTube. I obviously 93, I'm a baby. I saw it on YouTube, of course, but I think this year it could be pretty good, like y'all are saying. Whether you like or don't like some of the people in the lineup, I think overall, just with Dre, Snoop, and Mary J, I think it's gonna be a really great halftime show.
Absolutely.
But yeah, y'all. So I gotta say, man. So we're getting close to wrapping up. So I just want to switch gears a little bit, talking about the Super Bowl. We think it's gonna be great. It's gonna be cool, but we have to slide in the NBA as well, because if y'all been paying attention the past few days, the NBA trade deadline has came and went, and it was blockbuster deals that were made. And Perry, I know why you made that. We're gonna get to your trade in a second. I know why you feel that way. I know with your Wizards. I know we're gonna get to that.
I'm not talking about that. Look, this NBA trade deadline. No, it looked like somebody was playing 2K. What is it? 2K fantasy mode, and they were just making stuff up. I couldn't believe half these trades. It looked terrible.
Yeah, man, it was crazy. But y'all know the biggest trade, obviously, James Harden from the Brooklyn Nets. Behind the scenes, he was saying he wanted out. Ben Simmons, y'all, hasn't played the entire season. Mental health reasons, all this other stuff. He didn't want to play. Okay, cool. So they swapped him. But and Sterling, and I hit you like right as I got the alert. And I didn't really look at it at first, but I had to do a double take when I seen all the pieces in the trade. Obviously, we knew Harden for Simmons, but the Nets got back 2 first-round picks. Seth Curry, right? Steph Curry's brother, still a great shooter, and even Andre Drummond, a big to come off the bench. I was shocked when they were able to pull that off, and the Sixers just get Harden. So I was like, wait a minute, the Nets actually might have won this trade, in my opinion. So Sterling, I want to kick it to you first, bro, as I know you love your Nets, you love Kyrie, KD. How do you feel this impacts both sides, the Sixers and the Nets?
Yeah, no, I think they were going to win the trade regardless. Because see, here's the thing: I wasn't surprised they got Seth Curry because they were talking about Seth Curry the whole time. I'm really not even surprised about Andre Drummond. I'm more so surprised they got 2 first-round picks. That's what I was surprised about, because they were trying to get Thibault. Like that was the rumor the whole week. So I was just more so surprised by the 2 first-round picks. But the Nets, to me, won the trade. I think, a lot of people, obviously a lot of people know Ben Simmons can't shoot and things like that. He doesn't want to shoot. But I think, if you're playing with a Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant, he can play his game. He can be a distributor. He can be a rebounder. He can be a defender. He can play in his element and not have the pressure of delivering like he did in Philly. And I think that's going to really help him flourish, overall. Steve Nash just has to figure out how to use him. In regards to Philly, I think it's a good trade for Philly because obviously, you can have, pick and roll situations with James Harden and Embiid. They can play off one another. The key for James Harden is each stop that he's had recently, he quits. He can't do that in Philly. This is the last stop for James Harden. After this, I don't want to hear no more about James Harden ever again. He has to win a championship in Philadelphia. I agree. He has to win. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. He has to win. You have Daryl Morey again. You have to win. And also another person that puts pressure on is Doc Rivers. Doc Rivers hasn't been to the NBA Finals since 2010. So now you have, Joel Embiid and James Harden, a potential great duo. How are you going to handle that? Are you guys going to win? Personally, to me, I don't think Philly's going to win. I don't think they can beat the Nets. I don't think they can beat Milwaukee. That's just how I feel. And I think they would even probably struggle with your Miami Heat too. I wouldn't be surprised.
Real quick, bro, too. I don't know if y'all heard Kendrick Perkins' analysis of the trade. He had made a comment thinking that this could be the new Kobe and Shaq.
That's insane.
He's on dust.
Yeah, that's insane. No.
Never.
It's never.
I wonder if Perk did that just to make a headline because I have no idea where he got that from. A man that's played in the league, man. I can't believe he said something like that.
Ain't no way.
I think it was a stat that said this is like the first duo of players to both be able to average like 20 and 10 at the same time in like the league or something like that. It was some NBA thing. I came up in the gym and I was like, wait, Kobe and Shaq. I was like, oh, Kobe and Shaq only averaged that in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think that's probably where he got it from. But that's if James Harden was like Kobe, he probably would have lasted it in Houston. So that's all I'm missing.
Exactly. Yeah,
he would never got traded in the first place.
Yeah.
Frank, what do you think, man, about the trade?
I mean, the trade. I mean, looking at it, I'm like, I was surprised too. They pulled all of that off and got number 1 picks. I was like, sort of remind me of my Giants in football because I already knew. I was like, well, I was like the general manager. If it's his last year and they don't pan out, at least we got some picks for next year. You know what I'm saying? So he already knew setting them up what he was doing. But when you look at the NBA, man, it's just my biggest thing is, you have the trade deadline and all this stuff, but you have guys just moving from teams to teams to teams. And I'm with you about Harden. Like, yo, bro, where do you want to be? You know what I'm saying? Like, what did you do last season? You said the same thing. I don't want to be here. Okay. They move you to another team. Now we're right back at it. I don't want to be here. So what do you want to do? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, man. But I think that the Nets, I think they'll be okay. I like what Stephen said about Rivers, put some pressure on him. And then the guy from Philly what was his name? The one from Philly that was traded?
Savery.
Okay.
Yeah. I think for him, he gets an opportunity to understand what his role is, right? Because we all know in basketball, you have a role that you have to play. And I think sometimes you might have a guy that plays great, you know what I'm saying? But when you put him in that leadership role and say all those things are on you now, we're looking to you, that guy may not want that. And I think that's what happened with him over time in Philly. So he gets an opportunity to understand his role and play with someone else. Hopefully he'll do well. But I think I'm with the Nets, man. They pulled off the best one in history. So we're going to see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. I've been seeing a lot on social media. Like, a lot of people think the Sixers won the trade. And I'm a little surprised why they think it. Now, if this was Harden from Houston a few years ago, maybe I'll be like, okay, at this point of his career, I know he's still, averaging a double-double. He's scoring over 20 points a game, but to me, he's just not that same player that he was in Houston, in my opinion.
Not in shape.
No.
At all.
He's gained a lot of weight too, bro. Like,
yeah.
He's starting to look like old, what was his name? I can't think of Sean Kemp. When Sean Kemp was still trying to play.
Yeah, that's a good comparison. I like that.
That's who he's starting to look like.
Yeah.
That's funny. But so that's the big headline trade. There was so many different trades, but I want to know from y'all too. Like, is there one trade, maybe a favorite team of y'all's, or something that you've seen that caught your eye outside of that big trade? There's a bunch of little small trades too. But I want to get
Karis LeVert.
Oh, I got.
Karis LeVert
Yeah.
going to Cleveland. Oh my God.
Yeah. I was just about to say that Karis LeVert. Look, Indiana blew it up, and they blew it up. All right, Indiana blew it all the way up this trade deadline. They did it. So they got Sabonis, LeVert. They blew it up. I think Cleveland, right now, they don't need. That's one of my teams where I'm like, they don't need a superstar. They just got to develop their guys, and it's pretty much a wrap.
Yep.
They just got to develop them boys over there, and it's over. I think they want to trade. I think also, I'm trying to think what other trade where I think was a downer in all of this. I think the one team that didn't win anything, but it was like a win. It was like a give or take. The Kings, like we said, off of that Sabonis trade, they got rid of Marvin Bagley, which was a terrible pick to begin with, but at least for their organization, and they're trying to develop something there. I think they're trying to get that superstar and develop, who they got around everybody. I think they see that as a bonus, and possibly what's Buddy's name? Buddy Hill. I think they're trying to make that a nice little 1-2 combo, but I think they shouldn't have gave up Tyler Henneberger. I think that's his name. They shouldn't have gave him up. That boy.
Yo, bro, I think if I'm not mistaken, they traded Buddy Hield too. I think, right?
Yeah,
I didn't see Buddy get traded. I didn't see Buddy in the trade. They got Buddy up.
He got traded too, and Halliburton got traded too.
Yeah.
Oh, the Kings. Never mind. They lost the whole trade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They lost
Just
that
to
whole
get the
trade.
bonus, I'm like,
just to get the bonus. Jesus. Let's see. My Wizards. I think nobody won the trade, but everybody did what was good for them. I'm gonna say that now.
I got Kristaps, Porzingis for Spencer. Yeah. I was like, I don't know.
I know, but this is the thing. I'm gonna say this. It depends on what Spencer Dinwiddie we see. If I see Spencer Dinwiddie, Brooklyn Spencer Dinwiddie with Luka, then we lost. We lost completely. But
I think there's a good chance of that too.
There is, but we don't know because Luka, he sometimes gets a little bit too ball dominant.
Well, the thing with Luka though too, he doesn't really have like the team around him. He doesn't really have remember Porzingis was supposed to be that number 2, right? So it didn't really work out. He got injured obviously the year before as well. And now the Wizards, bro, like Bradley Beal shutting it down for the year. You got Kristaps, Porzingis. So like the Wizards, man, they might be blowing it up too. Yeah, trade Montrez to the Hornets, I think. Y'all might blow it up too, man. I don't know.
I won't be mad about it, but I'm trying to see who's gonna blow it up for it because there's a lot of dudes. There's a lot of dudes out there, but who's gonna blow it up for it? Because
the biggest loser out of all this is the Lakers, though. That didn't make a move.
I know you was gonna.
They move it off, and I didn't expect them to anyway.
Oh man.
So Sterling, I gotta ask about your Lakers, bro. So I know your membership has been suspended as a fan. When do you think you'll return to the Lakers? How many more years?
It's coming very soon because I don't think LeBron's gonna be there much longer. He might try to get a trade up out of there.
Well, maybe okay.
He better not try and go to Cleveland. I don't want to see him in Cleveland yet. He better not try and go to Cleveland.
I agree with
that
you.
team. That team too good that they don't need LeBron, unfortunately. And I love the man, but that team too good. They don't need him.
You know the crazy thing, bro? Yo, if LeBron gets traded to the Lakers, from the Lakers to the Cavs, the Lakers are gonna want all that young talent if that's the case. Yep. So I think I don't know if you said if you're Cleveland, you might not want to do that trade unless LeBron comes as a free agent. That's different, but for a trade, you might not want to do that.
Do you even want him as a free agent though?
No, I don't want him messing around with that team.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
I don't.
You
want
don't think
him.
they will take it back after winning the chip? I'm just, I know, I understand, but
that nucleus is nice, man.
It's too good unless he about to come up to. Unless he goes to Evan Mobley and say, "Yo, don't think about me. You a baller. Go do what you do." And he said the same thing to Darius Garland. Unless he said that to both of them.
No, you know the crazy
and
thing?
humbles it. That's not happening.
Because LeBron could be the point. I mean, we know how he is as like a point forward. Maybe he comes in, if that was the case, just kind of distributing the ball. He'll get his, but maybe not disrupt as much. I don't know, man. I'm just saying.
It's not happening. It's the LeBron or Anthony Davis has dealt with it a little bit. You know it. Anthony Davis was shying away from the ball. He was acting scared. That's why.
I think that's more of an AD problem, bro. I don't know if that's more so LeBron. I think LeBron wanted 80 to get his, bro. Like 80 LeBron wanted 80 to be that guy. So LeBron didn't have to wear the load as he's still doing in year 19. Like he wanted 80 to be that guy, like getting like 28 and 10 or 28 and 13 a game or something like that.
But here's what I'm gonna tell you that he's failed Anthony Davis though, is because he's not challenging him to be greater. Yeah, and they're too cool, and he doesn't go to Anthony Davis and say, "Look, this is what I need from you." It's not happening. That's the biggest problem with the Lakers, in my opinion. Outside of what's going on with Russell Westbrook, who needs to come off the bench, by the way, he just pack it in, bro. It's over. You ain't a starter no more. It's a wrap. Come off the bench and save your career today.
Bro, so your fellas, real quick on that, the Lakers Russell Westbrook note. I saw an article that was talking about how the Lakers supposedly LeBron and AD were mad that Rob Pelinka didn't make any trades at the deadline. Now, they really couldn't do much. Some people rumored that Russ might be traded for John Wall, who's not doing nothing in Houston, just because the salaries match up. But as y'all saw, or if you didn't see a couple of nights ago when they went out and played the Trailblazers, who gave up everybody besides Dame, who's hurt, they're basically playing with almost like a bench / G League team. And the Lakers lost with LeBron, with AD, and Russell Westbrook in street clothes. So you can't blame it on Russ. And they had probably maybe one of their worst losses of the year. They're 4 games under 500. Like, it's looking bad in LA.
Yeah.
It's a wrap. It's over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They keep trying to repeat those teams that they've had in the past, right? By bringing a bunch of superstars together. And it's just not gonna work. I like more so what Cleveland's doing, taking a bunch of guys that are hungry, developing those guys 3-4 years from maybe, who knows, he might make a run next season. You never know. But you take that team and you keep developing that team. You know, and they keep trying to take a bunch of guys that are veteran players, putting them together and hope they get to a championship. This team is not gelling like the teams in the past. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's a little bit different for the Lakers. I just hate to see LeBron involved in it because it's like, okay, when he's out, I act like I can't play. He's got to come in. He's getting older and older. You know what I mean? He can't continue to do it year after year after year. At some point, somebody's got to step up.
So
I think the Lakers management, I think the Lakers management is poor. You have to look at whoever was the scouting person that brought in all that talent, that let go of all that talent for LeBron. He probably looking at management, yelling at them like, I did my job, y'all screwed up.
Yep.
But he part of the problem though, because he was cool with all these moves in this past offseason. That's the thing.
Remember, y'all, he was cool with the Russell Westbrook. You talking about when they had Lonzo, Brandon Ingram, and all that?
Yes, Lonzo, Brandon Ingram, Randall, Kuzma. You look at all them dudes now; they all got awards and everything. They going crazy.
But at the same time, though, Perry, like they had to do that to get AD. So they got their one. They got the one Disney championship. They got the bubble championship. But that seems to be it. That seems they might have maxed it out. I mean, if we're being real, they kind of got lucky. The whole pandemic thing kind of went the way it did, and how the dynamic shifted for that bubble to even be a thing. But who knows if it wasn't a bubble? Would they have won the chip? Maybe, maybe not. We don't know. But that might be it though for LeBron with the rings. I don't know, y'all. I don't know.
It is for this season.
I'm gonna say
I know you happy about that too. No, I said I know you happy about that. Him not getting the fifth chip.
Well, no. Well, I don't think he's gonna get it in LA anyway. If he gets a championship somewhere, it's gonna be somewhere else. But I just think that, like, I feel bad for him in a sense because he does have to deal with this. But at the same time, though, it's also what he's created too in the same sense.
Yeah.
And that's what I hate to see. And I think for Russell Westbrook, I was going to ask you this, Frank, as far as Russell Westbrook, what do you think he needs to do in order to try to fit in, or like what does he need to do? You think, in your opinion, to save this season?
I remember when they got him, I was like, is that going to work? You know what I'm saying? Is he willing? Is he going to step up like he should? You know what I mean? And I haven't seen it. Like, I mean, I'm gonna tell you who it takes to talk about him. Uncle Shannon Sharp. Listen, I'm talking about him. I'm talking about him every week. Every week. He said, "What is Westbrook doing? Why do we even have it?" You know. So I mean, man, it's like this, bro. You know, when I coach football, you know, it's just like I tell my kids, listen, if you can't do it, we're gonna find somebody else that will. Period. You either want to step up and do what we put you here to do, or just let somebody else take over. If you don't want to be here, let's go. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. I expected more out of him because when I first saw, I was like, oh, okay, all right. I was like, Lakers might be all right, man. Westbrook ain't doing nothing. I was like, come on, bro.
Nothing. He's lost his confidence too. His confidence.
Yeah. Oh, it's funny you say that. I tell you something that I did see. Shaq was at one of the games, and Westbrook was coming down. He's like, yo, he was all upset, and Shaq was like, yo, bro, you know, slow down. You know what I mean? That's the problem. You're trying to do too much too fast. Slow down. He's like, you're right. And then when he came back out, you know, much slower pace, doing what he's supposed to do. He did okay. But you need that consistency in basketball, especially in the league. So doing it every other night or every now and then, once, twice, 3 times a month, it's not going to cut it. Not with that squad that they got in LA on paper. Because when you look at it on paper, you be like, boy, these boys good. Like, who going to stop this team? They ain't doing nothing.
Nothing.
That's crazy. You think too. I remember Uncle Shay. He mentioned like when they first made this deal, he said it's not a good fit. I know Sterling. You told me before it wasn't a good fit on paper. Yes, he's a superstar, but for what Russ does compared to LeBron and AD, like there's only one ball. There's only one basketball that y'all have to share together. So knowing how LeBron is ball dominant, then with Russ, it wasn't a good fit on paper, and they just obviously haven't seen to work it out. So it's going to be tough. My last question about the Lakers, though, do you think they can make the play-in, or you think they might be on the outskirts of that?
They'll be.
They gotta get at least to that 10 seed.
They're just barely making a play-in. And what's their seeding right now? Hold on, what's their seeding right now?
Are they 10 or 11? I think they might be 9 or 10 actually. Yeah, they're 4 games under 5. Oh, another note too, y'all. They have the second hardest strength of schedule to close out the season. The second hardest. Now, if y'all remember, because I know they talk about, you know, First Take, Undisputed. They were playing like the Rockets. They're playing like all these trash teams a lot earlier in the year, and they were still kind of like up and down, struggling. Now they're gonna see like the Golden States, the Phoenixes, like these tougher teams. Memphis, you know, the Clippers have had their number of late too. The Clippers are without Kawhi and without Paul George, and like so. It's gonna be tough in the West for them.
Their next 3 games. Yeah, they play the Warriors tonight. They got the Jazz. They got the Clippers, Pelicans.
Warriors tonight. Oh God.
Yeah, I'm over.
I'm sure that'll be an ESPN special right there.
Yeah.
I was expecting that on Saturday night.
Today's gonna be a live night. I'm not leaving my couch after I have dinner with the wife. I'm not leaving my couch.
They got the UFC joint too, right? I think tonight. Yeah,
UFC. That's what I'm saying. But on every red blood, baby. I think they'll make the plan because playing is 7 through 10, right? Playing game.
Yeah.
So as of right now, if let's say they're 9th, so it would be 7 against 10 and 8 against 9, right? So they have to play the Clippers. They have to play the Clippers somehow, get past the Clippers, and if they get past the Clippers, I think Minnesota can beat the Pelicans. So if they play Minnesota and they play that, man, that's gonna be a tough night. That's gonna be a long night. Carl Anthony Towns is going.
You know what I'm saying?
Like Shaq said, barbecue chicken, because that boy Carl Anthony Towns, I gotta stop talking about him. He got with that girl Jordan and started balling out of control. I don't know what happened. That boy been going crazy ever since he met her. I was like, double. So yeah, I think they had it. Ain't nothing happened. Ain't nothing happening with them. It's over with.
Real quick, I'm gonna slide in because we didn't talk about the Pelicans actually, but they acquired CJ McCollum too, from the Trailblazers. So is CJ, how is that going to fit? Obviously, Zion's not playing; he's out. They got Bi Brandon Ingram. I mean,
the fit will be fine. It's just about does Zion want to be there, and does he? And is he want to be there, and is he going to be dedicated to getting in shape?
I think it's more so to that the latter part, getting in shape, bro.
That's what it is. That's what it is. But I've been hearing
he's been on the gumbo a little too much, man. I'm telling you, down in New Orleans,
man,
he's been on the
past gumbo at this point with him.
Yeah, you got to push. You got to push back from that table, man. Because I saw him the other night. I was like, "Good Lord, boy!" Because when he was in Duke,
he's 3+, I think, at this point.
Yeah, when he was here, he was a big boy, but he was much slimmer. It was strength. They compared him to like Shaq, the power, the strength. Now, man, I seen him. I was like, dude, what happened? And people are just saying that he keeps getting injured. Can't get his his feet right. And then you get overweight. Now the things that you need to play basketball, you're not going to be able to move. You know what I mean? So
exactly,
they paid him all this money, and he just because he's so young, man. You want to see him play to really know
the
what
strength of his game, y'all seen. Excuse me, is his explosiveness, right? Throwing, doing these crazy dunks and things like that. And it's gonna keep getting, the weight and everything. It's gonna get on his knees, his ankles, everything, and it's gonna be tough for him to have a long career in the league. But it's gonna be interesting. I think, man, the number 2 pick in that same draft, John Morant, he's been balling out crazy this year for Memphis. Balling out crazy. I'm glad got the All-Star nod this year as a starter. In the West as a point guard, as y'all know, every year it's tough for that starring point guard nod. So it's gonna be interesting to see how Memphis does too. So I mean, both sides of the coin, man. The Eastern Conference, Nets, Miami, Sixers, who am I forgetting? The Chicago Bulls, Cleveland. It's gonna be interesting to see who could step up.
Shout out to the Chicago Bulls, man. Shout out to the Chicago Bulls,
man.
They are balling, man. Shout out to them, man. DeMar DeRozan, people they give him more credit in MVP talks. To be honest with you, I was saying
he's been a godsend for them, bro. Like,
can we say top?
I would have never thought when he went to the Chicago he'd be balling the way he is
top
right now, man.
Top 3 pair. Thank you. I agree. I was feeling the same way.
Top 3. He balling, man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say this now because I got to get off, fellas. Quick thing I'm looking at right now because we mentioned Zion. I believe he needs to go to a better organization to get him healthy. That's just it. Mm-hmm. I don't think it's cutting out in New Orleans because I don't think they really care. These are my top places. I think he should try and finagle his way to just organization wise. If he can, certainly you're gonna be upset. Miami, Pat Riley don't play that BS. He's gonna get in shape.
I can agree with that.
He don't play that. He'll get in shape. If he could somehow get to San Antonio will be a good place for him. Granted, it's still the South and they make good food, but Pop and them don't play that. If they can keep Tim Duncan healthy for the last how many years with all them other boys, those would be good. And then realistically, if he can I'm gonna say this, and it's not really a hot take because people in New York is waiting for it. He goes to the Knicks, but the Knicks might have to give up too much.
He's got his boys from Duke there, right? He got RJ Barrett, Cam Reddish is there now. I mean, he's not really doing much there, but
I mean, that's where he wanted to be originally. He wanted to get drafted there.
Yep, that's what they were saying too. They said he still would like to play.
Yeah, so that's part of it. Yeah.
We'll see, but it's going to be very interesting, fellas. Super Bowl tomorrow. NBA will be very exciting. I know I always tell Sterling I really get in the NBA more so right after the Super Bowl. So after tomorrow's game, going to be like heavily NBA focused just as a pod in general, like going forward the next few weeks and months, things like that. But as we get ready to conclude here, Frank and Perry, we want to thank y'all for being on with us.
Okay.
Frank, did you want to get into anything, man, about your show, what you guys do, or anything else you want to bring up?
Oh man, just check us out. The 336 Pull Up Podcast. Episodes drop every Monday. Just like you were saying in that great introduction, we talk about a little bit of everything, keep you up with the culture, let you know what's going on in political, from a political standpoint. You know what I mean? Stevie has his own segment that he calls, what was that? You definitely have to check that out. And, we just get into some stuff, man, and have fun. So make sure you check us out.
Appreciate that, man.
Appreciate
Always
you.
a pleasure, man. We're gonna have to get back on y'all show eventually too, man. And
Absolutely,
chop it up,
bro.
So
absolutely, man. We definitely have y'all come on out, man. You know that.
Absolutely. Real quick before you get off, because I know you're a New York Giants fan. Y'all made some moves, man. I want to know, how do you feel, maybe in a division, maybe as a scope in the whole NFC? How do you feel getting a new coach coming from Buffalo, the GM coming from Buffalo, who's been solid these past few years? How do you feel about your team moving forward?
Before I say that, because we were talking about the Super Bowl tomorrow. I had a piece of information specifically for you guys. The general manager of the Rams, Les Snead, myself, and Jay Nice actually went to school with him in a small town called Eufaula, Alabama. So he actually was a senior when we were like sophomores or something like that. So he's always been a cool dude. So that was just a little tidbit of information that when people say it's a small world, right? Yeah. So it's crazy.
So I see why you're rooting for the Rams. I see it.
Actually, with the Giants, bro, I'm always optimistic. I'm a fan. You know what I'm saying? When we 3-8, I'm still hollering 3-8. You know what I'm saying? Let's go. You know what I mean? But I think, like I said earlier, Gettleman left us in a position with picks, which is good. I had gave up on Daniel Jones as far as his performance and the way he was playing. And I wanted to see a quarterback come in there, even if it's a veteran for a time being, that's going to help us win now. But there's just too many things that aren't going the right way they should. Saquon can't get mentally back. He got hurt again as soon as he came back. He couldn't, and then when he did come back, he couldn't get mentally, that mental piece of his brain back. So I don't know. I think there's some trade options that we have available. I think that we should get rid of our tight end. I can't think of his name. I always forget his name all the time.
Ingram, I think.
Ingram. There we go. Ingram. I think we should trade Ingram. That's tight. I mean, that's some trade bait. But the one thing that we need to do is just shore up that offensive line, bro. That's the only way. If we're looking at it from a business perspective, like that GM is, the new GM is, if we're looking at it from a business perspective, it is only fair to see what you really have. Let's get a line around this guy and see what we can do, right? It's not going to hurt us either way, because if we pick up his 5th-year option, that's only a year that we got to deal with it, and we can really see what he can do, So I'm hoping, seeing what that guy did in Buffalo, every year Buffalo got better, and look at him now, right? So I'm hoping that with him in place, a good coach in place, and whatever we do in the draft, if we make some moves and shake some things up, that we can put a better product on the field. So I'm always optimistic. I'm not optimistic when it comes to the Jets, but I'm optimistic when it comes to the Giants.
That's fair. Yeah, the Jets, man. It'll be interesting to see, man, because Sterling being the Dak Prescott Dallas Cowboy fan, I'm the Eagles fan, you're the Giants fan, so it'll be very interesting. All in the same division, man.
All of us are all in the same division.
Yeah. It's gonna be very interesting. Well, obviously, we'll connect probably close to the draft, maybe get into that.
Bro.
A lot of big things could happen. The Eagles got 3 first-round picks. I'm not sure if Sterling knows about what the Cowboys may be trying to do. And they obviously playoff team. They got stars all over the team. So, but there's always room for improvement at different sides of the ball. So it's gonna be very interesting to see what happens with that.
I mean,
we appreciate. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
They were the best team. I mean, hands down. I mean, now I'm not a Cowboys fan, but I love watching them. My dad was a Cowboys fan, but between them and you guys, Philly and Dallas, I mean, those were the 2 best teams out of that division, right? So even with what Philly was supposed to be in a rebuilding year right now, you know what I mean? Yeah. So to get to the playoffs and do their thing, that's a lot to be said. Now you just build off of that, hopefully. Now, as far as Dallas goes, I don't know what's going on there, because they have all the pieces, in my opinion. So I don't know what the missing piece is there, but
they used to coach, but they're not getting rid of the coach, so they stuck with the head coach. Jerry don't want to get rid of the coach, so for now,
Will Sean Payton want to come on board?
Oh man,
we will see.
So
we will see.
Come on board.
That might be your only hope, bro. That or Jerry just completely turning over the reins to his sons. That might be the only hope you got.
Why turn it over to them? They gonna mess it up too. They ain't no better.
Jerry's like Jerry's a superstar like figure. Like he's about him, about making bread, making the Cowboys the most popular, entertaining, interesting drama there is in sports. And it's kind of taken away from them winning. So that's, as history has shown us, only 3 playoff wins in the last 25, 26. I lose count of how many years. 26, 27 years it's been.
The problem is the disrespect that he showed Jimmy Johnson a long time ago is still catching up with this franchise, and they have not been able to get over it. That's the bottom line. That's what it comes down to.
Bill Parcells said it. Bill Parcells said it the best. If you want me to cook the food, you should let me at least know, get the groceries. You know what I'm saying? So as long as Jerry Jones if he's unwilling, if you want to be a puppet coach and come there and coach for the Dallas Cowboys and have that title and have that, fine. If that's what you want to do. Will you see success? Maybe, maybe not. Because at the end of the day, you're not making the picks. Jerry is. And so as long as Jerry is making those picks and, trying to put a team together, I think you're going to continue to struggle. I think that's why Parcells left. You won't allow me to make the moves that I want. And Parcells is used to being in charge. That's why Jimmy left all those years. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just can't continue to do the same thing every year. And I think it's getting to the point, especially after showing all the fans on, at Cowboy Stadium, showing the memes and all that stuff. I think the fans are getting tired of it as well because
absolutely,
it used to be a joke. Like Cowboys, everybody would say Cowboys are going to the Super Bowl, and everybody like, yeah, y'all are winning right now. And then as soon as you get in the playoffs, you're going to choke. I think the fans are tired of that, and they're looking. The expectation is for something else. So we should see.
Frank, you say that, but when the preseason and everything starts again, them fans are gonna be saying the same thing. Oh, we going back to the Super Bowl. We got Dak. We got Micah Parsons. We got Trayvon Diggs. We got this one and that one and Amari and CeeDee Lamb. They're gonna say the same thing, bro. We know it. They're gonna say the same thing. I can appreciate Sterling because he's more of a Dak fan as opposed to like the Cowboys at large. So he wants Dak to be successful, which means the Cowboys got to win. He got his money. We talked about that before, I think, together, actually. He did get his money now. So he's got to put up or shut up now. Dak has great statistics, but they don't result in them winning like that. You know what I'm saying? Like he could beat up on the bats. He could beat up on the Giants. The Eagles last game of the season, he threw 5 touchdowns. They had like their JV team out there. Okay. You could front run with the best of them. When you play a team that's going to bring it, like we saw the Niners do to them, they couldn't answer the bell. They just couldn't do it.
Yeah.
So
it's crazy, man. But it's always interesting after the draft. So I think the draft's going to tell us a lot. And I don't know, Amari Cooper. I don't know. Do you bring Amari Cooper back because he disappeared? Like what happened to him? Like you paid him. He got paid before Dak did. Like this guy should be balling out. You know what I'm saying? Like so,
that's true. Well, remember Zeke too. Zeke got his deal.
Yeah.
He's as a running back.
He's done.
Yeah,
he's done. I mean, he's
the
missing.
The thing is, they put so much mileage on him, man. Rushing the ball, rookie year, the first 4 years, he's going at it, and it's like, as a running back in this league, like you getting hit every play, you're not going to last for that long. And Zeke is a contact runner. He's not like a Barry Sanders, Shady McCoy. I'm trying to juke everybody. He's running into contact. So even though he's only, I think 28, 29, it starts to get to you as a running back. I think, as you know, Frank, I think what is it, like 30 is like the bad number for a running back. Once you hit 30, you already know it's a wrap. It's a wrap.
Yeah, I mean, even still, he still has some things they can do. They just have to get him involved a little bit more in the offense. Maybe use him as a third down back and let someone else come in a little bit younger, first and second down. Yeah. But at the end of the day, man, they switched the offense to a pass offense. When they switched it to a pass offense and put it in Dak hands, things change. You beat up on us in our division, that's fine. But when you play against those tougher teams, you still have to come through, and that's just something he didn't do. So we'll see. I like Dak. I'm a fan of Dak, so I don't have a problem with Dak. But I just think
I respect him. I tell
Yeah,
Sterling
good.
it's hard because an Eagles fan. I can't find in my heart to root for Dallas, but
Yeah.
I do like Dak as a brother, as a quarterback. I respect him for what he does. That's cool. But I just can't root for him. I can't get down on him like that. I just can't. But especially when he's playing my Eagles, like if it's Giants and Cowboys,
Yeah.
I hope y'all tie every time. Honestly, when y'all play. I rather y'all just tied. Y'all both can't lose a game. Y'all both can't lose a game. So shoot, man. Well, but man, it's gonna be very interesting. We'll get into football at another date. As far as the NFC East, and Washington is now the Commanders. I don't
Washington
know about
Commanders.
that. They're still a joke of an organization, man, and they still got some legal issues that they got to go through. So.
Yep.
We're gonna see how that pans out. But Frank, don't want to run too long, man. I appreciate you for coming on.
Thanks for having me
with us, man. Absolutely. Hopefully next time we get Stevie, we get Jay Nice. The next time around, if they're available.
Yeah.
We appreciate that. So everybody who's been tuning in, we watch live, watch the recording on YouTube or Facebook Live. We appreciate you. You guys see the ticker down below. Please follow us at the Savery Show on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Y'all have a great Super Bowl weekend, Valentine's Day weekend for those who, get into those activities for Valentine's Day. I'm married, so I'll be doing it, Frank. But everybody else, y'all have a good one. Go Rams, go Bengals, whoever's gonna win. We're gonna get a great game, I hope. Like I said, in my heart, Bengals. I was in Cincinnati. Frank, that's where Sterling and I met in grad school. So I love Cincinnati, being down there for 2 years. I'm rooting for them. I'm saluting the city.
Great city,
but
man.
hey,
Great city here.
We're gonna see. All right, y'all. Y'all have a great rest of your weekend.
All right,
Enjoy
man.
Super Bowl.
Y'all be good,
See
man.
y'all later.